This is a video about Eleanor Williams, a girl who destroyed men's lives with lies. Firstly, before we start, I just want to say that it is about 30 degrees in England at the moment, and I know that might not seem that much to Americans, but UK heat is different. And as a ginger, I'm dying. So if I look like a mess, please excuse it. Anyway, I digress. So let's get into the story about Eleanor Williams, a girl who basically lied about a series of serious topics which ended up causing a lot of mayhem in her town of Barrow-in-Furness. So let's get into it, shall we? In February 2023, Eleanor Williams, aged only 22 at the time, was found guilty of perverting the course of justice by falsely accusing 3 men of sexual assault and trafficking. In May 2020, she posted pictures of her self-inflicted injuries on Facebook, claiming she had been taken to a house, essayed multiple times, and physically beaten by an Asian grooming gang. The images naturally went viral, sparking outrage in her hometown of Barrow-in-Furness and across the country. Because the country was in lockdown at the time, everyone was stuck indoors scrolling social media, which is why her posts spread like wildfire. Let's get into the victims. Mr. Jordan Trengove in 2019 was accused by Eleanor Williams. He was a local man who was arrested, held in prison for 73 days and faced severe public backlash over false accusations. Then there was Mohammed Ramzan, a business owner in the town of Barrow-in-Furness, who was accused of grooming and trafficking her. He faced death threats from the community and property damage by members of the public. And last but not least, Oliver Gardner, a man she met once on a night out. She later claimed he drugged and raped her, which was proven false. There are a few others that Eleanor Williams has accused, or falsely accused shall I say, but they have not been listed. Here is a detailed breakdown of Eleanor Williams' lies, based on court records, police statements and verified news reports from sources like the BBC, The Guardian, Sky News and ITV News. Let's start with the gang rape and trafficking allegations. In May 2020, Eleanor Williams posted a long Facebook status alongside shocking photos of her with a badly bruised and swollen face, claiming she was victim of a grooming gang in Barrow-in-Furness. She alleged she had been groomed from the age of 12 by an Asian grooming gang. She had been drugged and essayed multiple times. She was trafficked across the UK and abroad, including Amsterdam, and she was apparently beaten for refusing sexual advances. However, in reality, police investigated her claims for years and found no supporting evidence. Travel records, CCTV and phone data proved she had not been in any of the places that she had claimed. Her injuries in the Facebook post were actually self-inflicted. She hit herself in the face with a hammer. Imagine that, smashing your own face in with a hammer. She literally got caught from CCTV buying the hammer herself from Tesco just before calling the police. This woman was crazy. Let's talk about the false accusations against Mohammed Ramzan. Williams claimed Ramzan, a well-known local businessman, groomed her from the age of 12. He drugged her, took her to sex parties and sold her to men abroad. He apparently trafficked her into Amsterdam and forced her into prostitution. However, in reality, Ramzan was in Barrow at the times she said that he was abroad with her. Records show he had never been to Amsterdam even with her. Phone data and bank transactions disproved the trip she described. His card was being used at a B&Q in Barrow at the time Williams has said the rape and assaults by him took place. Now let's talk about the false accusations against Jordan Trengove. Trengove apparently raped her on multiple occasions. He attacked her in his car and at his home. Police arrested Trengove, who spent 10 years in prison alongside actual sex offenders on remand before being cleared. Imagine, this woman just makes up an accusation about you, a false accusation, and then you get put in prison alongside actual sex offenders. That must have been a dark time for him. Jesus Christ. CCTV and GPS evidence proved he wasn't near her during one alleged incident. He had actually been arguing at a taxi rank and put into police custody at the exact same time that Williams had claimed the assault on her had occurred. After she had made the claims, the word rapist was spray painted on his house and his car was vandalised. Jesus Christ, man. Imagine having the word rapist sprayed over your house when you didn't even do it. Jesus. Now let's talk about the accusations against Oliver Gardner. Williams claimed Gardner raped her after they met in Preston in 2019 on a night out, when in reality, CCTV footage showed they spoke for around 20 minutes outside a bar after Gardner had asked her for a lighter. They then both went into an alleyway together where they apparently had a consensual sexual encounter. Eleanor was captured afterwards walking out of the alleyway at a slow, carefree pace, lighting a cigarette. cigarette, basically not showing any sign whatsoever of being sexually assaulted. Apparently Oliver Gardner was so distressed from the allegations that he was sectioned under the Mental Health Act. Let's talk about the hammer. Williams told police she had been kidnapped by men, taken to a house and beaten when she refused sex. She claimed her injuries were from this assault. However, CCTV from a nearby shop showed Williams buying the hammer used to cause her injuries. She was later filmed walking calmly in the area, uninjured, before inflicting the damage herself. Can you get this into you guys' heads? She smashed her own face in with a hammer. Her own face. What the fuck? And she says in an interview that she's not a psychopath. Are you mad? You are a psychopath. She actually went through the effort of smashing her own face in with a hammer to then make her story look more believable. What the fuck? This is the maddest thing I've read so far. And I've read some mad stuff. Williams told police she was taken to Amsterdam's red light district by Ramzan and forced to work in prostitution. However, passport records show she had never been to the Netherlands during the alleged time. No border or flight data supported her claims. She was in Amsterdam on a holiday with her sister actually, and her sister's boyfriend, but Ramzan was not in Amsterdam with her. Like I said before, she actually had made false rape allegations against at least 3 other men who were not named in the press. And thank fuck they weren't, because they would also be getting the backlash from the public as well. She described being locked in rooms, drugged and filmed with no evidence actually found. She told the police she had been rescued from traffickers after being missing, but phone data placed her locally the entire time. This woman's a fucking idiot. Literally, she never even left her home, and she's like made claims about like being trafficked in Amsterdam. Do you not think that the police would look into this? Do you not think that the police would, call bullshit on you? They can see where you've been. It's very unlikely that you just left your phone back home and then got trafficked to Amsterdam. Oh no, girls go out without their phone, don't they? Yeah, of course they do, yeah. Let's talk about the impact of her lies. At least 3 innocent men were arrested and had their lives utterly destroyed. Communities were split and racially charged tensions erupted because she said that she was in an Asian grooming gang. The people in the area started banding up together and started going after anyone who was Asian, which is mental. She sparked like racial attacks and prejudice and all sorts of things. She sparked all of that in the area. Even Tommy Robinson got involved in it. Police spent over £250,000 investigating her false claims. And you've got to think, like, obviously these people who were going after these Asian grooming gangs, which simply probably didn't even exist in her area. So obviously these people who were going out and rioting and stuff, what they would have done, what would be in their head, they'd be thinking, we're going to go and get them, we're going to show them like, no, you cannot do this to our people. Which obviously I don't condone anything that they did, but I can understand the anger and the frustration caused by her lies. But at the time they didn't even know they were lies. They thought it was complete truth. Mohammed Ramzan had stones thrown at his home and experienced threatening behaviour from strangers. There was a heightened police presence as well. Cumbria police had to increase patrols to prevent escalation as tensions between racial groups in the town became dangerously high. National scrutiny. Politicians and campaigners became involved, including Tommy Robinson, calling for justice for the alleged victims of grooming gangs, not realising at the time that her story was fabricated. Mohammed Ramzan also had the word rapist spray painted on his home after her Facebook post went viral. Jesus Christ, man. To lie about something as serious as trafficking and sexual assault is very, very, very bad. Like, seriously, shame on you to whoever has done that, okay? Because you can ruin people's lives. You're not just ruining the person you're accusing's life. You're ruining their family's life. You're ruining anyone's life who is in any way associated with. So what is wrong with you? Just for a bit of attention and a bit of sympathy, you're willing to ruin other people's lives. Let's talk about how she was caught lying, shall we? Eleanor Williams was caught lying because police investigations dismantled her story piece by piece, and her own evidence turned out to be fabricated. Here is how it unfolded. Police checked her timeline and found contradiction. She claimed to have been kidnapped, raped and trafficked over long periods, but CCTV, phone records and witness statements placed her in completely different locations at those times. For example, she said she was taken to Blackpool and forced to work in a brothel, but CCTV showed her, at the time in which she said that this has happened, checking into a hotel alone, buying a pot noodle from a local shop and not meeting anyone suspicious whatsoever. The Dubai trafficker fell apart. She said she had been flown to Dubai and sold for sex. Police found her passport had never even been stamped for that trip. Hotel records and flight data confirmed she had never left the UK during those days either. Her facial injuries were completely self-inflicted. Medical experts determined that her injuries were consistent with self-inflicted blunt force trauma, i.e. the hammer. She eventually admitted to hitting herself in the face with a hammer, which police later found at her home. She had claimed her injuries came from being attacked by an Asian grooming gang. Her Facebook post alleged that a large Asian grooming gang was operating in Barrow, her hometown. Police conducted an extensive investigation and found zero credible evidence of such a gang. Every man she accused had alibis or physical evidence proving that they could not have committed the acts. Jordan Chengove was actually in custody at the same time in which Williams had said he had essayed her because he was arguing at a taxi rank. So he literally could not have done it. He was in police custody at the exact same time she claimed it happened. Well done, Eleanor. Good one. Eleanor Williams was actually taken around Blackpool in an unmarked police car so that she could point out the locations of the grooming gangs to them. But once she was being driven around, her answers became unresponsive. I don't know, I can't remember, I'm not sure. Is it that place? No, I don't know. But you said that you knew where they were operating, so surely you should remember something so traumatic. Yeah, it didn't happen, did it? Yeah, cool, brilliant. Sick. Digital forensics caught her out. Many of the threatening messages she claimed were from her traffickers were traced back to accounts and devices linked to her own IP address. Jesus Christ, what a rookie mistake, man. Sorry, it's really hot. This is a really aggravating story. I'm sweating right now. This is ridiculous heat, man. Anyway, previous false claims. Police discovered she had made false accusations before, which are also proven untrue. This story undermined her credibility further. In February 2023, she was finally convicted of perverting the course of justice for 8 accounts of false accusations, and in March 2023, she was sentenced to 8.5 years in prison. Her mum, Alison Johnston, is a local Labour councillor in her hometown of Barrow-in-Furness. Alison publicly supported her daughter throughout much of the investigation, insisting that Eleanor was telling the truth about being trafficked and abused. She even gave interviews defending Eleanor, including after the infamous Facebook post in 2020. However, after Eleanor's conviction, public opinion in Barrow turned sharply against the family. Some locals accused Alison of enabling the false narrative, though she had maintained that she believed her daughter. Mate, your daughter's literally been caught out lying, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but probably 6 times. She's probably been lying her whole life. You know what she's like, so you are enabling her. They're right about that. You can't just be enabling your daughter. It's actually your job as a mum, or just a parent in general, to raise your children, to just not get away with being a prick. It's part of your jobs to do that. You need to teach them self-accountability, morals, respect, yeah? And if you don't do that, you're a shit parent. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. You're a shit parent. She's a shit fucking parent. I don't care what any of you guys say. She's shit. Like, even to this day, Eleanor's mother still insists that her daughter was telling the truth, despite all of the evidence proving she wasn't. You're just making yourself look like an idiot as well. To defend your daughter after she's made such horrible accusations, to defend her still and believe her still, it's just ridiculous. What, you believe your daughter against the whole fucking justice system? Seriously? I don't believe that for a second. I think she knows she was lying, and I think she was trying to let her get away with it. You know what I mean? Shame on you, man. One of the victims, Jordan Chengove, is in an interview stated how he couldn't even pick his child up from school because of the allegations and how widespread they became. He even attempted to commit suicide as well. And Oliver Gardner, another victim, later told the BBC and other outlets that the accusation caused his girlfriend to leave him and it severely affected his mental health and well-being. Mohammed Ramzan said his family's curry house and other business interests suffered huge losses because customers boycotted them, essentially. He became isolated in the community and his children were getting bullied at school and also outside of school as well. And this just shows, right, the severity of making false accusations this serious. You can quite literally ruin people's families' lives. You can ruin loads of people's lives just by saying lies about people. It's really serious. And if you are a type of person to lie about something this serious, then shame on you, seriously. Because this is genuinely disgusting behaviour, this. To lie about something that serious. What it does is it ruins it for real victims who have actually gone through this shit. Like girls who have actually been sexually assaulted. Yeah, you're ruining it for them. It's already hard enough for them to be believed without little twats like you making this shit up. But hey, you don't care about that, do you? You only care about yourself, you only care about the attention, you only care about the sympathy that you're going to get from the public. So, let's talk about the victims and the perpetrator and where they are now. Let's start with the perpetrator, Eleanor. Despite receiving an 8.5-year prison sentence in 2023 for perverting the course of justice, she was surprisingly released ahead of schedule in October 2024. Sorry, I can't say that word. Schedule. Which one is it? Let me know. She only served 2.5 years, only basically 40% of her sentence, partly due to time spent on remand prior to the trial. Since her release, she had been placed under probation under strict licence conditions, including restrictions on travel, internet use, a possible curfew, and a 5-year serious crime prevention order aimed at protecting the public. Reports indicate that Eleanor is actually not currently residing in Barrow-in-Furness, her hometown. To ensure her safety and reduce public pressure, she is believed to be living quietly elsewhere, though her exact location remains undisclosed. Oh yeah, let's keep her safe, yeah. It's not like she's a piece of shit or anything, she tried to ruin people's lives. Yeah, let's just keep her safe. You can live your quiet life somewhere, wherever you want. Why have you released her early? These people are scum of the earth, yeah, and you're releasing them early. It's only a matter of time before she does it again. Her early release, rightfully, sparked strong backlash in Barrow-in-Furness, where many locals saw it as a miscarriage of justice given the far-reaching harm her false claims caused. Critics argue she served too little time for the emotional and societal damage she's inflicted. I'm fucking one of them. Keep her in there, lock her up, and throw away the key. Seriously, we don't need people like that on the street. Seriously, we really don't. Jordan Trengove, one of her victims, has also relocated away from Barrow-in-Furness to quietly rebuild his life, which had been destroyed previously by the allegations. For privacy purposes, I will not say where he has relocated to. Mohammed Ramzan has also moved away from Barrow-in-Furness because of the allegations. He and his family are also quietly rebuilding their lives. So unfortunately, there are no recent public records or media reports indicating Oliver Gardner's current activities or state. He has not come forward in the media or through documentaries post-trial. This suggests he may prefer privacy and likely continues to recover from the public eye. This wasn't even the first time that Williams had made SA accusations either, like I said before. In 2017, she accused one of her friends named Cameron of rape while she was at his house whilst they were having a drink with their friends. She said that he had pulled her by her hair and thrown her to the floor, then raped her. However, when questioned by police, Cameron was apparently shocked and denied ever assaulting Eleanor. He said that she was so drunk at the time whilst at his that he had to phone her sister to come and pick her up. So basically, if you know this girl, yeah, if you even say hello to her, just don't. Avoid her, see you later. Don't even say see you later. Just don't even look at her. Actually, just don't breathe around her, because she'll accuse you of something, yeah. Absolutely unbelievable. I just can't even put into words how, disgusted I am at this person. You meet people in life that make false accusations about this sort of thing, and they're just scum of the earth for that. Like I said before, it ruins it for actual victims who have gone through this shit and find it hard enough to be believed by people without fuckers like you making it up. I want to end this video with some final thoughts, and I also want to show you some interviews of the victims. Just giving some words after the trial verdict where Eleanor ended up going to prison. Not for long enough, but she still went to prison. Let's show you some interviews. Let's start with Jordan Trengove.
I knew I wasn't going to be coming out to a nice environment. I wasn't going to be welcomed. I didn't want to leave my house. It came to the point where I didn't leave my house. It was just so bad. Her support started to withdraw from her in around January, and that's when a lot more people started to believe us guys, which was a relief in a way, but it did take a while. It took 3 to 4 years to actually get people to understand that we were innocent people.
And here is Mohammed Ramzan, the owner of the curry house.
Threats we had messages like people are going to rape my wife in front of me, from Islamophobia to racism to just general hate, people wishing me dead.
Mr. Ramzan says his children were also threatened.
Did you say that they had
fire extinguishers, baseball bats next to the beds for the safety, because we had threats. People were going to burn the shops down, burn us down.
And do you think that the majority of the town thought that you were a sex offender?
I think yes, I would say yes, they did. I feel no sense of triumph, only sadness for the loss of the years, the impact on my family, here we are, and the true impact that this will have on true victims. That's the loss here.
You were able to say anything to Ellie Williams today, what would you say?
Why? I want to know why you have done this to us. Why? Because she's not only done it to me and Mo, she's done it to our families, and there's innocent children and kids involved in our families along with that, and she's destroyed their lives as long with ours.
So that is it for this video. Final thoughts, disgraceful. It is disgraceful. I can't believe that there are people out there that actually lie about this sort of thing. Seriously, shame on you if you've ever done that. I swear to God. Let me know if you enjoyed this video in the comments. I know you enjoyed the last Gypsies videos. So I basically wanted to do something a bit new this time, cover a new case, because this one is disturbing. So let me know what you thought of this video. Leave it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to my channel. Turn the bell notifications on so you get notified every single time I post. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next one.